What's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to the MPX Rehab. I'm your host, the hashtag Certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host as always,
the voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
And this week was House Party. And man, I tell you, I love this movie. It's really great. I mean, Kid and Play, they're just like absolutely... What?
One, you're showing your age. Two, we're too white to say we like that movie. It's like saying we like Friday. We're not allowed to like Friday. It's a great movie. It's wonderful.
It's a fantastic movie. Yeah. No, but really, House Party this week at MPX had a lot of, really interesting things happen.
It did, and we also got a lot of setup leading into The Purge, which is our next big show. Big show coming up. It's obviously not the next show, but it is definitely with the main event. And a couple things in there, like with the Eagle and Becker and stuff like that. They're setting a lot of stuff up for The Purge.
Oh, yeah. Definitely looking forward to it. But to start with it, the first match of the night was Dylan Cavins, the brilliant Dylan Cavins, taking on Levi Lucas.
Yeah. And the match was good. They matched very well with each other. I always enjoy when Levi is here. He's one of those that he's a good talent. I just wish we got more of. Every time he's in the ring, he's got a good heel charisma presence around him. He knows how to interact with the fans.
I agree.
He knows how to get them to hate him. And then also his wrestling. When he's in there, they're usually good, solid matches. Yes, there's things in there because he's still young. But when he's in there, the matches are usually pretty solid.
Yeah, honestly, we had like an entire batch of him and we had him and two other guys. One was Carlos Diaz and the other was...
TJ Slater?
No, Technician.
Oh, Davion Black.
Davion Black.
Yeah.
The three of them came in not at the same time, but around the same time. And it's like, honestly, they were like cream of the crop kind of guys, even at the start.
Yeah, they were, and it was great. And then, of course, going against Cavins, who, again, just
Speaking of cream of the crop.
has to be one of the most over guys right now. Everyone seems to love him. Everyone gets hyped when they see him on the card or hear his name or his music. It's
not everyone.
Yeah, no, obviously. And, but it's one of those where going up against something like that obviously doesn't make it easier to be the heel, but it kind of does. You're going to be, the bad guy. You're going to be hated. Everyone's going to want Cavins to win. So
it gives you a more obvious target.
Exactly. And there are little things Levi could do here and there to get that. Like when they're, chanting the whole Cavins, he'll do the Levi, like he's trying to bounce off it, which is hilarious. And then, the Cavins counts just gets higher and higher, like every match.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how let's be honest, they don't catch all of them. There's no way they do as good as, Bug and Tab do. There's no way they can get them all.
According to Bug, she only counts in the ring.
See, and that's what I was kind of curious.
And exit, she doesn't.
I was like, well, see, in the entrance is where he does the most, so you kind of got to count that. But that's the thing, like, is it only when he does it? Because Levi trying to mock him did it himself. I was like, does that count? Because if the fans do it back, I feel like it should count.
Yeah.
Like if Levi says Cavins and then the crowd says Cavins, that counts towards the Cavins count, I would think.
Yeah, you would think.
But who knows? We don't know the exact statistics on the Cavins count. The only statistic we do know out of this is that Cavins won. And, I mean, obviously kind of going in, it's going to happen. The thing...
Which one's established? Which one has something going on?
Yeah, and not even that. I mean, there could have been a thing where, say, Demo comes out and costs him the match.
That is true.
It could have happened.
I would have expected that because, honestly, that is, I think, one of the problems I have with the feud between Demo and Dylan. Dylan, is like... Admittedly, he seemed confused because nothing about this heel turn has seemed like overtly heelish
until this past week.
Yeah.
So
until the promo, but it's just like if Demo had come out and interrupted the match and costing Dylan the match, then that would make absolutely perfect sense. But it's just like it's one of those things of nothing really happened.
Right, and I kind of get that.
And now we're getting the big match between the two.
Yeah, which, and hopefully it's not just kind of a one-off thing. Hopefully it's something that continues. And we'll talk about that later when we talk about that match. Yeah. But Cavins, getting on the mic, which is something we haven't seen a lot, if ever, maybe a handful of times, because at MPX, there are a few that get the mic and get a lot of mic time, and there are others that we really don't get a lot of vignettes or mic out of. Caven's promo was good. It was a little, obviously he was very winded, so kind of cut a little bit, I think. But it got the point across of Demo's going to ignore me. You're not going to message me. Well, I want to fight you then. So then challenging Demo, and that was the one thing I didn't, I'm always about like, well, they got to answer the challenge before we just announce the match. And then Demo made the promo, and I'm like, all right, cool. Again, using social media to your advantage.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Demo did perfect, and I do enjoy the back and forth between them. I think as good as of a tag team they were together, separately, they're going to excel more than they would as a tag team. And there's nothing against their tag team.
I agree with that.
Caven's is one of the most over at the moment. Demo was kind of getting there, but he was always, honestly, kind of going to be overshadowed. So to kind of break out of that and go heel, and hopefully, and again, we'll talk about later when we talk about the match, but to become this big monster heel that MPX honestly needs, I think would work real well, and I think Demo can do it if kind of booked right. And I think they have a good idea, and hopefully they kind of follow through with it. But Demo, I think, going heel, kind of stepping out of that shadow, which is, yes, he's 7 foot and Dylan's 4 foot nothing, but stepping out of that shadow is, I think, going to do wonders for Demo and his career, not just here in MPX, but everywhere, because the Brilliant Gems weren't really booked as a team much anywhere else either. So I think this split is going to help both of them tremendously. Yeah,
no, I actually really do agree, and I think, honestly, it's like Demo absolutely could pull off being the monster heel and everything like that.
Yes.
What I really kind of hope is that they make him a monster.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this earlier. One of my big issues with MPX as of late has been most of the heels, if you look at their gimmick, is just self-absorbed asshole.
Yeah.
The pop star, the movie star, the, deluded hero. And, it's like the closest to a villain has been the MPX champion, in my opinion. But even then,
he's still kind of liked by a lot of people because it is.
That's really
it is their homegrown guy. They're always going to like Tatum to a degree. The thing I like about this, with everything you just said about kind of self-absorbed assholes, when you look through this feud through Demo's eyes, Caven's is a self-absorbed asshole.
Yeah, no,
and I love that.
Yeah,
because Demo's got a kind of a point. We're a tag team, yet you're yelling your name. Like that makes like that whole thing Demo was talking about in that video. It made sense, and it made me go, you know what? Like, it's one of those you kind of said a couple of weeks ago. It's like when you agree with the heel, it's hard.
Thank you, Brian Zane.
Yeah, but then again, he's got a point, but also the way he went about things is wrong. Like, everything they're doing to make this work is working, I think.
No, I agree. And I'm looking forward to see where it goes and everything, but we'll see how it works. Then we had the MPX Addicts I don't think it was a championship match.
No. It was
okay.
not. It was a non-title match.
Okay, that's how it was logged on one of the things. But Aaron Eagle taking on Zero, and
what's your favorite saying when Zero's in a match?
Nobody dies like Zero.
Nobody dies like Zero, and this match was really good. Obviously, Eagle is one of those, like we kind of just talked about with heels. He's borderline not heel almost. Like
He's past most over heel over at MPX.
The past 2 weeks I've been in that building, the shirts I see the most, Aaron Eagle is by far got so many shirts in the crowd. It's like, well, he's not really a heel. And then Sky. Like, those are the two shirts I see the most. Their third would probably be Entourage. Like, they have to be some of the top sellers.
Yeah.
I love Demo. I really do.
Yeah.
But anyways, Zero is one of those that him and Eagle just, I don't know what it was, but it's one of those, I guess it's probably the vetness between them both, that they go in there and they just know how to work with each other. And Eagle, like most people are thinking, oh, okay, Eagle kind of squashed Zero, blah, blah, blah. But it's not. Zero's back and forth with them. One of my favorite things Eagle has started doing, because I've always been a fan of the move, but now Eagle is like doing it to excess, and it's amazing, is the fall away slam. And he did it, I want to say he did it 4 times to 0 from each side of the ring. It was amazing. And sometimes he launched Zero a little too far, and I'm like, oh God. And then, Zero giving back and forth.
And I'll bet you anything, Zero was like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, like, when it was, announced non-title or anything like that, it's like one of those, Zero could get a win, because it's not going to matter. But it was a good match. The powerbomb or the cancellation, I think is what he calls it, right?
Yeah.
The cancellation just was brutal as fuck on Zero.
Yeah.
Looked amazing. Probably hurt like hell, because I even joked with Zero. I was like, you're probably going to piss blood later, because it was right on the small of the back and kidneys. You're like, oh, fuck. Like, I think that's the thing I like about the move is when it happens and when it's done like that, you literally hear the crowd just go, oh, like you hear them all go, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, and that's one of the reasons that someone like Zero is actually, the bigger guys love working with him, is because, he knows what he's doing. He's got enough veteran experience to be able to take and do anything you need him to do. And then, he's also small enough that you can pick him up and throw him around like it's nothing.
It was like he did when he did the fall-away slams, all four across the ring. He just, Zero weighs, he weighs more, but he looks like he weighs 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So to have someone like he'll throw him around, it's great.
Yep. And then we had the women's match of the night, Killer Kate taking on Glamorous Amorous Blair. And from what I'm told, that was a pretty big pop when she came out.
For who?
Amorous.
Amorous. Yeah, they did. It was one of those where she does have a name. I think a lot of people have seen. She's been in MPX once. I doubt the addicts we have now kind of remember that.
Yeah. She was like almost brand new at that point, too.
Brand new, and then we also...
Because that was the show where Brent took over.
Yeah.
One of our greatest shows.
But yeah, it's one of those where she's, kind of getting up there, getting a name and stuff like that. So it's great to have her down here. And then, of course, Killer Kate is always amazing and a treat when we get her. So it's amazing.
We love you, Zero. We really do.
He knows I love him. Love to watch him die.
But... yeah, Killer Kate picking up this win. So that was kind of interesting, given the pomp and circumstance they were giving Amorous.
Yeah, but it's also one of those where, again, like I've said time and time again, we're going to have this one back. Who knows if we get the other one back?
Yeah.
Why not push or have the winner be the one that we're going to have back? And it's also leading into, like I said, everything that's kind of going on with Kate, and she's still, trash talks Hilda online and stuff like that. It's still, that isn't done.
Yeah.
Like, I feel it's not done. So I think have Kate get this win, one, is good because, again, I think when you look at the experience level of both of them, Kate is the one that should win.
Yeah.
Not to say that Amorous is bad. It's just
to put it
Kate.
how Reza put it on the back at one point. Kate's one of those ones that if she wants you to go to sleep before God and everybody, she's gonna make it happen.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those where it is that legitness, toughness of Kate that she will put you to sleep or snap your arm, and it's going to be, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Her and Blair was all right. A couple of things here and there, obviously, but I still thought it was a good match. And yeah, I think the outcome is what it should have been, is with Kate winning.
Yeah. And then we had the tag team match between Los Rayos and the Children of the Scorn with what was set up the week before. This one actually made a lot of sense. And I did like the fact that it was the Carlos Diaz Muerte Infernal team up.
Yeah.
On this one.
Yeah, because apparently, and I didn't get the full story because it's kind of hard to hear the promo sometimes. Apparently, the Texas Wrestling Commission bullshit said that Smasher was banned for this week. So it was like, all right, cool. Okay. It goes to a story, fine, whatever. But then, the mashup of Diaz and Morte is a good team. Yeah. But that was the thing, though. Like, Diaz and Smasher were a good team, too.
Yeah. So because they had that nice big guy, small guy dichotomy. But, it's like, but we also had that with Children of the Scorn. If we had it on both sides, that would be a little...
Yeah, true.
But having, the hitman of the Muerte Infernal, no cap, Carlos Diaz, being the high-flying, very self-absorbed ego that he's got, I love it. And, of course, El Jefe, Tony Snow there.
It was good to see him back.
It's the whole thing of, I wrote down winner because I was, looking through pictures.
Yeah, no.
And everything.
I mean, yes.
I see Los Rayos standing tall. I'm like, that is exactly what I was expecting.
Yes. But, by standing tall, they won.
Yeah.
They did lose by DQ, if I remember correctly, because I remember I do drink on Saturdays, so. But Tony did get in, hit Gabe with the kendo stick, believe the Kendo Stick's name was Rosita.
Ah.
So, you know. But yeah, cost the DQ. So while Cheering and Scoring did win, they didn't necessarily walk out winners. So it's continuing, obviously, the Scorn versus Los Reyes. And it's also continuing, you know, Los Reyes trying to kill all the favorites in MPX, which when you look at what happened here and you see a numbers game, let's be honest, it's leading up to Los Reyes versus Scorny time. It's got to.
This is
what it's got to go to.
The trios match between these two teams is actually something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Because with Culture Shock, it was good, but we don't know Culture Shock that well at MPX. We've had them individually a couple of times, but never as a team, and it's been a while.
Yeah. And
so, you know, it was like, because I'm remembering when Danny Orion first showed up, everybody was chanting, Danny Onion, and nobody else remembers that.
No, I do. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Iron Belly does too.
Well, that's because he was the king of the pre-show at that time. But this with this one, if you get all three in-ring members of Los Reyes and you get the Scorny time, get Matt Palmer in there as well, this is going to be good. Yeah,
it is. It is going to be very good, and I think, like I said, that's at least what it looks like we're building to. And it would be great because then, you have that. Okay, how do you counteract, you know, El Jefe? You have Hilda. Like, you could use Hilda, or if Palmer calls in the biggest favor of his life, you have Athena too. So it's one of those things where it could do something. So who knows?
Yeah, and I don't know. Although, no, I'll talk about that one later. But then we had the return of the long arm of the law, the Sheriff Kiefer Bartek coming back and taking on the Tommy Becker of all people.
Yes, amazing match. And Kiefer will never see this anyways. But disappointed in the lariat. It was not as good as it could be or should be. Like, man, I was so excited because I was like, we're going to finally have a good lariat. Ryan's gone. I haven't seen a good lariat in a while. And Kiefer...
Because Brick just straight goes for the clothesline.
Kiefer did it, set it up, and just a little weak. I was like, oh, man. What happened? In all honesty,
this is going to get clipped and sent to him, right?
Of course it is. Yeah. Someone's going to clip it and send it to him. And I love Kiefer to death. I really do. Kiefer's amazing. I'm glad to see him back. He is killing it as running New Texas. New Texas is one of the biggest things in Texas wrestling. And I couldn't be, happier for Kiefer.
Yeah.
Because very rarely do we kind of see him wrestle now. He really has taken kind of a backseat approach and does a lot of behind the scenes and booking and running and owning of New Texas. And as busy and as, jam-packed as those shows are, that's going to take a lot of your time.
That's probably one of the reasons he was happy to come down here because, he's like, I don't get to wrestle in my own promotion
exactly.
all that much, so I'm going to wrestle here at MPX.
And he's going to wrestle one of the best in Texas.
Yeah, somebody that he almost to the day wrestled about 4-5 years ago?
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah. Back when he was, the power of the man bun.
What was it? Star Tech or whatever.
Tech. Yes.
So,
I remember that.
No, Sheriff is way better.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
You still got the same Star Trek, Star Trek.
Yeah, a little bit. But having him there was amazing. And Tommy getting the win, and then, of course, Eagle coming out and attacking him, pulling out the ladder, and just power bombing him on that ladder, which looked brutal. And then the way Tommy just laid on it like he was dead, just beautiful. Again, and it's little things like that Tommy does that I don't think the average fan kind of picks up on, is how good Tommy is at the in-ring charisma as far as expressions or selling or just laying dead like he does.
Yeah.
Like, Tommy is amazing at stuff like that. Yes, he's one of the most athletic men we have at MPX. We've said that time and time again. So yes, in-ring work and wrestling-wise, amazing. But those small little details of getting powerbombed perfectly not perfect, but getting powerbombed safely on the ladder, then just slowly laying down to where it looks like you literally just hit your head and your neck is broke. Amazing and beautiful and so subtle that no one sees it.
Yeah.
It's great. Tommy is so good at things like that.
Yeah. No, it actually really makes me... Because, when it comes to The Purge, I'm going to be honest, that's the match I'm looking forward to the most.
As of right now, with things announced, yes, that and we'll talk about in the main event, those two, right there. The MPX title and the Addicts title, those matches, yes, are definitely going to be amazing.
Yeah. Then we had the MPX Tag Team Championship match as Purple Haze defended against the Entourage, represented by the leading man and the super agent.
Yep.
Michael Schaefer and LP, with Polly Paparazzi on the outside. And this one, honestly, I didn't have to see everything on this one to know how it turned out in a lot of ways.
Yeah. It's great because, again, I love Purple Haze, one of my favorite tag teams. Stevie Hendricks, one of my favorite wrestlers currently. Because, again, there's something about when their music hits and the way they are, their charisma, it's charismatic and it sucks you in. Like, it is very contagious and you're just excited.
Yeah.
And, of course, the Entourage, we know how much me and Schaefer fuck with each other, but Schaefer's one of my favorites and always has been.
Oh, yeah.
Because, again, it's a big guy who can actually fucking wrestle. When they let him, he can show athleticism, he can do moonsaults, he can actually go. Like, I really do believe, and people will probably call bullshit, I believe Schaefer could do an Iron Man match. If you fucking gave him... If you gave him just a month to be like, hey, in a month, I want you to go an hour... Schaefer would work on his cardio, which he's probably already got, but he could work on it more to actually do an Ironman match, and Schaefer can fucking do it. I don't think people realize how athletic and good Schaefer is sometimes.
Yeah, no, honestly. In this one, it's like, as a fan and as somebody who's a friend and fan of Michael Schaefer in general, I'm happy with the outcome of this match because I do love the Entourage. Yeah. And I loved that, from the moment he was able to finally change gimmicks with Sebastian Envy and everything like that, and the fact that he has run with this more than any marathon runner. Yeah. I'm very happy with it. Yes. But at the same time, I just feel like it's not enough.
It's not because
it's the whole thing of, Michael Schaefer won a belt. It's the tag team championship again.
It's one of those where, yes, we've been saying for 6, 7, 8 years, Schaefer could be the guy. Schaefer should be the guy. He's had that prospect title twice, defended all 4, cashed in, lost both times. And it's just like we've talked about time and time again. The booking of Michael Schaefer at MPX has always been very weird.
It's like, for me, that's one of the reasons I feel like they kind of fumbled the ball when it comes to the Entourage. Even with them having this belt, we know they're legitimate. Anybody who doesn't know that the Entourage is legitimate just doesn't pay attention to MPX. Or they're brand new. One of the two. Right. But I really feel like if they wanted to make the Entourage a strong faction at MPX, like a really strong faction, you put the big belt on Schaefer. Yeah. And then make LP and Polly.
Well, and that's the thing. I was just about to say, we know, because of MPX history with trios and stables, stuff like that, this probably is going to be a Freebird rule. You will see Polly and LP. You will see Schaefer and Polly. You're going to see a mixed match of the teams defending tag titles. So you still could do that. You can have the tag titles still in Entourage and have Schaefer win the Addicts title. Yeah. Or the Prospect title again when Kari cashes in and, wins the title. And I'm putting that out there because that's what I really want. But wins the title and then the Prospect kind of goes back into play. Yeah. We can see that. Or we could see Schaefer, the Addicts title. I think that is still a possibility. The thing right now, and we kind of touched on it a little bit with Eagle as well, the Entourage is our heel stable, yet they're loved. And it's two ways. They're loved in, yes, their T-shirts are amazing. People loved it. People find them funny. People like fucking with Polly. And some, yes, there are some that actually do love to hate them, which is more of what you should do. Yeah. But it's one of those where if they got a little more serious a little bit sometimes, I think it would help the heelness image to go.
I agree, but honestly, it's like
To me, it's the opposite with Eagle. Eagle, I know that face turn is coming, and when it does, it's going to be amazing. Entourage, I think, needs to take a different approach to stay heel. I don't know that their face turn would be as good.
Yeah, no. I agree. I don't think they should be faces. I'm talking, remember when the Impact players, larger than life, how they were like some of the goofiest sons of bitches out there. All 3 of them together. They were so hilarious. Right. But when they pulled it out, that dastardly line of theirs.
But see, what I think is different with that is Rain and Tommy never necessarily really changed. They were still there. What made them heel and believable and everyone fucking hate them was Jamie. True. Because Jamie knew when to do that. Jamie knew when, hey, people are kind of liking us. No, fuck all that. And he would go and make people fucking hate them. Like Jamie, that's one thing Jamie was good at. Jamie knew when to kind of pull that where,
I agree.
haha, this is fun. Oh, you're having too much fun. No, this is our fun. You're not allowed to have fun with us. Fuck you. And would change it.
Yeah.
Like, that man knew how to work. And then not necessarily just the addicts, but he knew how to work a fucking
There's
crowd.
someone connected to the entourage that they could bring in that I know that the MPX addicts hated. Not even just loved to hate. They hated him.
Sapo stuck in Thailand.
No. But they hated this guy, and that made Best Picture the tag team of the year in a lot of ways. I think honestly, if they were to bring Sebastian Envy back, bring this whole studio together, I think that could help.
I think it could if Sebastian kind of stuck to the
script.
Stuck to the script.
Sorry, I had to.
Stuck to the evil director that when they would do something would be like, no, you do it this way. And then Schaefer and LP and Polly, all right, and then they actually do the more evil thing.
Yeah.
And they stop being funny. If they did do it that way, yeah, I think that could work.
I fully think that could work.
I think, again, like I said, if Sebastian went with the whole evil director thing, what's that one who did I Heart Huckabees that everyone fucking hates working with? And there's that video of him just berating Lily Tomlin.
Oh, God.
David O. Russell.
Yes.
If he was like David O. Russell,
yes,
that could work.
Hell, the joke about him being Black Kubrick was always the fact that, he is do it 127 times just to make sure it's absolutely perfect. And if it's not perfect, do it again.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? It's like they pull off a finisher on the opponent, and Sebastian comes out. No, cut, do it again.
Yeah.
They do the finisher again, and they just to the point that the refs eventually nope, it's done. Yeah, he's out.
He's out. Yeah, that could work. WWE does all the time. They retake finishes, so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Yeah. And it's
But again, it was one of those where I was a little sad Purple Haze lost. I kind of saw it coming because again, Houston. We got guys that are always here. We want the tag titles more. Plus, I'm happy to see the Entourage back on top. It's been forever since we've seen Schaefer and LP with tag titles.
Yes.
So to have that moment was cool. And again, it's one of those where, like Schaefer has said before, because we always made that joke. He turns on his tag team. He turns on his friends. LP was one he never did because then they are brothers. These two men
they
are
started
some of
at
the
same
best
time together.
They're two of the best friends. So to see them also kind of recapture that moment and achieve it, it was a nice, at least for fans like us, a feel good moment. Yeah. You're like, oh, they actually love this.
Oh yeah.
It's not just here's the tag title with some guy you barely know.
Yeah.
That may be a friend, but you barely know.
The whole being disappointed in this, that's entirely my opinion. That's my thoughts on it. Not there at all.
But have them get it, it's one of those where it's like, all right, this is something that they enjoy. It's cool. And again, like I said, having Paulie there, who has also been with them forever, just not really out there in the MPX world, it's a great feel-good moment that hopefully... Okay, we've kind of got this. Let's kind of turn a little evil and heel now, maybe. So I don't know.
I think it could be done. It could be done. It doesn't even actually necessarily have to have Sebastian. I was just thinking, it's like Sebastian. I remember how much people hated him.
Yeah.
It's like especially when he came out ripping up Red's card. But then we had the main event, the Call Your Match at the Purge Scramble.
Sure. Yeah, that works.
I don't know.
And before not before the match, before the bell rang, but everyone was already out. Tatum did come out and sit on commentary. So, because, he's obviously watching. Because, from the start, he went to Richard and TWC and said, hey, we all know that's going to be Sky in a mask. And they're like, no, it's not. He has legit paperwork. We checked it. Richard's like, I checked it. He has legit paperwork. It's all legit.
It was so great to see Mr. America again.
No, that's... If you've watched any of New Texas, that was Cousin Otis, sir. That was That was goddamn gimmick infringement.
Yes, it was. What's Red gonna do? Put the mask back on?
Shut up.
But it's been over a year.
Whatever.
But this
kayfabe, goddamn it. It's not dead. It's still real to me.
But this match, honestly, is like look at the lineup.
Yeah, Mikey B, Exodus, Nate Collins, Red Chambers, Kari Wright, the Trinity River Ripper with Isaac. And again, I know I said it last week, and it is no disrespect to Nate, but why?
He felt the most disjointed.
One of these things in this match does not belong. And it just didn't make sense for me to have Nate here. Because it was also like I said last time. The last time we had a random triple threat fatal 4-way match, it was Nate. Why is it always? And again, I like Nate. He's talented. I'm not saying I hate Nate or he's bad.
Yeah.
But why are we not having Eddie more? Why, if we're going to use horsepower,
I'm wondering
why
if
are we not kind of split them? And I get it's probably bookings and it's
I was going to say it's
different things.
I'm wondering if that's on Eddie's end that he's just not available.
And it may be. It's just, but again, it's say somehow miracle Nate was to win this. At that moment, with everything he's got going on, is he not calling a shot for the tag titles? Which again kind of defeats the purpose of the match. You should go for Tatum's title. You should go for the title.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
It's one of those that just was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But again, Nate is talented in this match. He worked really well. He's good. The thing I think I liked most about this is seeing Exodus and Kari in there again because of their chemistry as a tag team and as opponents. It just makes me want it more. I want to see more Exodus versus Kari.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. We might. I mean, if.
Oh, that's why Eddie was booked.
Oh, okay. Cool. Honestly, I think if Kari does cash in, I think one of his first opponents is going to be Exodus Prime because, unless of course Exodus is indisposed.
Yeah, it's possible. The match was great. Again, you've got all this talent in there. We all knew what was going to happen going in. We all knew what it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, Trinity River Ripper wins. They get on the mic. Isaac's like, yes, we're calling our match. It is going to be against Tatum. It is going to be an excessive violence match. And then Sky rips it off. And it's like, I wish he wouldn't have unveiled until the Purge.
Yeah.
Because now, to me, it kind of defeats the purpose of, Sky's fired.
Yeah.
Well, no, we all know it was Sky, so why is the match still allowed? Why is it not thrown out? Why is this match not canceled? The Ripper should have gone all the way to the Purge, then unmasked to be Sky.
Yeah.
Because that makes a little more sense. Because right now, seriously, if Sky's fired, what is to stop the Texas Wrestling Commission or whatever to be like, no, he was fired. He's not allowed in the match.
Yeah.
Or even just be like, okay, cool. You always have to be the Ripper now. Like it's weird.
And that's actually been one of my big issues lately. Is things are just happening way too fast. The timing it's just too quick.
Yeah.
It's like it's like this is a long running, weekly show. Why are we doing things right then?
And it could be changing of things. It could be bookings. Who knows? Is Tatum and Sky going to be bad? No, fuck no. It's going to be amazing, especially in excessive violence. Because again, while many people may not remember or may not believe it, Tatum's a tough motherfucker. We've seen him. If you actually look at Tatum's history as far as hardcore matches go, he's got a lot more wins than losses. The only loss he really has is the South Oak Cliff street fight. Yeah. And every time Tatum has done one of these matches, at least to me, as someone who really likes hardcore and deathmatch wrestling and stuff like that, Tatum has impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So I think Tatum and Sky is going to be amazing at the Purge. I think they will fucking try to murder each other, and it will be great. This is one of those, and we've talked about it, with the storyline given, with everything that's kind of happened, Sky's one of those that could legitimately beat Tatum, especially at excessive violence. Now, in my honest opinion, is that going to happen? Fuck no. Tatum's going to continue. We're going to keep the dominance going. To me, Tatum's keeping it probably to next year's Destiny. That's kind of what I envision with them running with this.
So you really are thinking Tatum reigns?
Maybe, but again, it's one of those where I haven't felt bored by it. I know a lot of other people have. To me, I haven't. I think it will still... And again, it may not. It may be Purple Rain. It may fucking be the Purge. Either way, whether people want to like it or not, Tatum is going down as one of the most, fucking decorated, defending, one of the best title reigns we've had there. Yep. And,
there's only one belt he hasn't had yet, so.
Yeah, and who knows? But it's one of those where it could happen. I don't see it. Because, again, I think it's going to lead to the pushing more of Tatum being like, look, I defeated Sky in excessive violence. I beat him in his own game. No one can beat me. He's going to continue that egotistical rise until finally someone, makes him fall.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what goes on with that, but, we'll also see what he's going to be doing next week, because that was last week's show. This week is We're Addicted to the Pain, in which we're going to have the special guest of Athena is going to be there.
Yeah, and this is very weird to me because, one, Athena's usually kind of booked and announced like weeks in advance for shows like MPX, and then also the ticket price stayed the same. Seems like every time we've had Athena, the ticket price has gone up a little bit.
Well, I guess she has a little more leeway with certain factors.
But maybe.
What I find interesting is all the promo pictures of her have...
and they have announced her as the ROH Women's Champion.
So I wonder if we're going to see a title defense at MPX.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. There's no other women on the card. Oh, there is one, but she's busy.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it could be any number of women.
They could bring Killicate. Who knows?
Yeah. Actually, that would be really good.
Athena and Killicate would be good, because I know they would actually hit the fuck out of each other.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that'd be a fight. It'd be a hell of a fight. But speaking of fights, let's talk about the Haas fight. I know you're happy about this. And Morgan's getting her wish, too.
So, I am happy about this. But again, it goes back to what I said earlier. One of these things is not like the other.
And it's not Morgan.
It's not Morgan, and it's not DL Hartley. Ocho, I wouldn't consider a Haas. He's a thick guy.
Okay. Let's be fair. Nobody looks like a Haas when you're standing next to the Juggernaut.
That is true. But it's one of those where I don't know. I wouldn't consider Ocho a big guy to be in.
You know what? This is also one of those things where people say that, Gabe Wilder's not a big man, but, Dylan Smasher, who's about the same size.
Gabe and Dylan are, to me, Houses because of the way they fight.
I agree with you. But I'm just saying, it's like we're talking management here.
They kind of are powerhouses to me with the way they wrestle. They're powerhouses. Ocho, to me, is a brawler when I watch him. And I like Ocho. I really do. Like, he's probably my second favorite Camacho behind Angel. I really do like Ocho. But it's just one of those where it's like, I wouldn't consider him. Like, when they announced the Haas fight, I'm like, cool, DL Morgan.
Ocho?
I guess Ocho, but it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Now, do I think this match is going to be hard-hitting and great? Yes. Am I excited for it? Yes, because it is. It is three big people honestly, beating the fuck out of each other.
It may be they're counting Ocho as a Haas insofar as he is a hard-hitting brawler type wrestler.
He is. And it's, I guess, next to Morgan, they probably are very similar. I mean, Morgan obviously taller.
Oh, yeah.
But they probably are very similar. So it's... yes, I can see the logic in going with it. Just to me, I'm like, Ocho's not a Haas.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match is going to be great. And it's great to see DL Hartley.
Yes.
We saw him once, and it was one of those where I had heard the name but didn't know anything about it. When I saw him, I go, oh, you're good. I like you. Like, he just, and again, it's kind of like that charisma with when like Cavins or Stevie Hendricks come out. He kind of sucks you in, and it's contagious.
Yeah.
So I do like this. And again, I said it when she first trained and when she first debuted. Morgan should always be heel. And so I think having Morgan come in, being the heel, is going to be great.
But then we also have Dylan Cavins and Demo Diamond, which we talked about already. Still looking forward to this because I think, honestly, it's like we're going to see these two guys who have started together and wrestled together on the same side for so long. I don't think either of them really mentioned wrestling each other.
Not really.
Before.
And it's one of those where like I said, the split to me, I think is going to help them both.
Yeah.
And right now, for me, the way I want, because I want Demo to be that monster heel, I think Demo does need this win.
I agree with
He's got to come out and not necessarily destroy Cavins, and it doesn't have to be a squash.
Yeah.
But it does have to be very decisive that, look, Demo is a monster. Demo is going to, it does not matter if he considered you a brother at once, he is going to go through you to get what he wants.
Yeah.
And I do, like I said, that's what I hope happens. I really think, yes, they have something in both these men. They have something in Cavins as being over as with the fans. Cavins could be a great Addicts champion. He could be maybe a prospect champion.
Yeah.
Demo could be your guy. You can build a roster and a show around Demo.
Eventually, I love Demo.
If you make him a monster heel, yes, I understand. You got to let it build. Yeah. But if you build him right as that monster heel, you can build a show around him being the champion and the guy.
Right now.
I guess.
I mean, we love you, Demo, but, you know. Then we also have a match that I'm sure you want to talk all about for like hours on end. Chandler Hopkins will finally be here, taking on Kari Wright.
Yeah, we tried this 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we did, but unfortunately things happened apparently. Chandler couldn't make it. That's how we got Kari and Delin.
Yeah, which was great. And like I said before, it is not... Chandler just is not for me. Yeah. He is good. Him and Kari will have a good match. Mm-hmm. To me, Kari and Cavens, way better. Do we need to talk about this? Like, should we wait to see if it happens, or
let's wait to see if it happens? We'll talk about it next week.
Look, like I said, it is going to be a good match. Mm-hmm. Chandler is talented. Again, just he's not for me in some of the things he does, and also not a fan of cowboy gimmicks. So that's especially true. In Texas, they're way overdone. There's a difference in Chandler Hopkins and the Sheriff Kiefer. Don't even get me started on that. There is a fucking difference.
One of them's serious, one of them's tongue in cheek.
But yeah, it's gonna, like I said, it'll be a good match.
Yeah.
Because again, Kari to me is the wrestler of the year. That is my vote. Everything Kari has done, every match he has had has been amazing. To me, Kari and Stevie Hendricks is the match of the year so far.
Yeah.
It's amazing the things Kari has done and how on fire he is right now.
Yeah. But we also have appearing in Los Reyes, being represented by Dylan and Muerte this time, apparently, and of course, where they are, El Jefe is. We love to see Tony Snow. The Tommy Becker, the Texas Chainsaw Sky de Lacrimosa, Tatum Manning, and of course, like I said,
Athena. And that's the thing. So, like, Los Reyes is there with Smasher and Morte, who, they're on this whole thing of killing all the Addicts' favorites. Who's next in line? I mean, you look at the thing, you got Tommy and Sky. Could that really be what they go after? Or could they still be, kind of fucking with the Scorn if the Scorn's there?
I could see them still messing with the Scorn, yeah.
We had kind of teased it with Scorny time and stuff like, is it Athena? What bigger fan favorite of the Addicts than Athena, technically,
That is true. That is true.
And then that's the other thing. Tommy obviously going to be looking for revenge for Eagle. Is Eagle going to be there? Who knows? Sky and Tatum in the same building leading up to the Purge, which is, again, it kind of boggles my mind. Sky's fired. It wasn't a win your job back match. It was a call your match. So should Sky really be on a poster and a card until the Purge where he has his official match?
I don't know.
That whole thing is weird to me, and maybe we get some type of explanation. Who knows?
I explained my issue with it and with everything that's going on in a lot of ways, but we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Purge, real quick, let's of course talk about the fact that,
Oh yeah,
we're losing Abaddon, unfortunately.
Let me talk about that.
Yeah.
Let me talk about how 1 week it's like, cool, Abaddon versus Vixen. The very next week, Abaddon got pulled. It's going to be Nyla Rose versus Really? In a week? In a week, you lost some. Why? Like, come on. I don't
know. It makes me sad because I was really looking forward to Vert Vixen and Abaddon. But
yes, that would have been great. But I'm
excited to see Nyla Rose in person too.
Again, it would have been great to have Abaddon there, and it would, Abaddon and Vert Vixen would have been amazing. It just, to me, it boggles my mind how you can advertise someone 1 week and then a week later.
Change.
But a week later, what the fuck happened?
No, there we go.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
It's that I took care. Fair enough. I'm
Mr.
okay
Razor,
with.
Thank you very much for that.
But I'm okay with that if that was just on the show where Isaac slipped it in the contract or something. Cool. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird that I don't know. But anyways, back to this.
Yeah.
Having Nyla Rose in the building is great exposure for MPX. That's a big name. It's one of those I haven't been a fan. But again, I wasn't a fan of Abaddon until I saw her live. And I'm like, oh no, it's cool. Maybe Nyla Rose does change my mind in that aspect too. Of when I see her live, it's like, oh no, you actually are good. Okay,
it may be though
because there is there is sometimes TV presentation, people they work with, stuff like that. It's like, I just don't get it. I don't
maybe
like
that
it.
long-running issue with it's like a lot of these people are indie people
Right.
who are suddenly being thrust into a TV situation with people who have no idea what they're doing. With
But I am
TV.
super excited to see Vert Vixen because I think that's going to be great. And we'll talk about the Purge when it gets there.
Well, we'll talk more about that later. But that is awesome. That is everything we have for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Tune in next week for next week's MPX Rehab. But first, stay tuned because in just a bit we're gonna go punk.
Zero.
No, the other one, the one from the south.
Rook Tyler.
No, South Texas.
Oh, Avon Axel.
Avon Axel.
Okay.
El Baracho, Avon Axel will be joining us in the studio for the Indie Spotlight. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit.
Are we ever going to get all 3 Bastard Parade on here?
I want to. I mean,
that would be cool.
I want to.
You know, I mean, first, I guess we got to get them booked places. But,
true.
eventually getting them here would be great.
Maybe one day.